Now I'm conscious of the way I walk. Hadi Denise Zokuze Skyze Sai Lincoln Hallgren Satni Sai Lake Babin Wuten Hisle Sai Lachabu Abakadizda. My name is Lincoln Hallgren. I'm in House Counsel with County Family Services. I'm presenting on behalf of Kyle Parker, our Chief Director of Legal Services. And recently we've added Naomi Finley as our legal paraprofessional, and she's been a wonderful addition to the team. She is a member of Lake Babine Nation as well. So we are very happy that our legal team is starting to grow so that we can start getting the work done for you. Let's see. Okay. So back in the new year, we held a think tank with a bunch of our coworkers to kind of create a guiding document for the County Legal Department, and that has been a broad goal and an ambitious goal for us to complete and get to work on. And that includes the purpose of administering legal support, service, and representation in the areas of child welfare, admin law, constitutional law, child and family well-being. And we are looking to fulfill our mandate and provide these services as we grow. I was called to the bar November 5th of 2023, and thank you. And promptly started working at County on November 20th, 2023. So I'm just over 10 months old. Kyle joined us in the new year, and Naomi joined us in the summer. We are currently going to post for a privacy officer within the legal department. That's to ensure that County and our departments are all taught and made aware of our end of the deal, making sure that none of your information, personal information, is leaked or broken into. So we're making sure that we work with the IT department to make sure all of our emails and faxes, everything like that is encrypted, and making sure only the right people can see it. So that's all in motion, so that when we work to get into C6, we'll have our privacy officer hopefully in place to make sure that all of that is looked after. And that's, again, just making sure that sensitive MCFD health records and all that are in the right hands. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. So we've posted before, and we haven't found anybody, but we are posting again soon, and hopefully that will be successful. We are also working closely with Mabel's team and Joni's team in jurisdiction, and Mary's team. As we know, in February, Bill C-92 was affirmed by the Supreme Court of Canada, and that gives us the right to assert our jurisdiction over child protection. And it gives us, as Sandra Isaac loves, paramountcy over British Columbia's. So our own laws will trump British Columbia, which is huge. And in doing so, we are preparing to make sure that we are ready for C6 and have all of our end and the legal department, so that when we are in that status, that we're ready to support Joni and her team and families who are having issues with MCFD, and making sure that our children are protected, and it's done in the right way, in the best interests of our children, so that they can stay in community and keep their cultural ties intact. And a lot of that will be done with support of Sandra Isaac and the clan houses. So if you have any questions too about C-92, feel free to speak to me afterwards. It's a pretty big decision the Supreme Court upheld. And there's a lot of sections in it, but to keep this kind of on time, I won't go into every single section because I'm sure everyone doesn't want to be put to sleep by the law. Part of that, we are working with Stephanie and Naomi and Kyle and Joni to make sure that when there's C6 status, we have our notices of significant measures ready. And that is, if there is an issue in the family, they're given notice of any sort of measure, whether it be prevention or if we have to help make sure the child isn't removed from their home. So we want to make sure that that's ready and done in the right way and not continue the MCFD way. We want to do this in a cultural, traditional, proper way with the best interests of the child and family. And again, that includes data storage, having a correct phone line, email that families can email in cases of concern that only the legal department and child safety department will have access to, again, to protect your privacy and information. We're also working closely with Julie Dom's team in Justice and having a great Indigenous mediation traditional way of making decisions rather than sitting in front of a judge and arguing. This is supposed to be a holistic approach where we all sit together and just discuss the best interests of the child and how we can move forward in a good way to make sure that the families understand and that the families can discuss and make changes for the better. And as you've heard, the long-term reform on child and family services will be voted on next month in Calgary. Mary will have, I'm sure, a lot more information and much better things to say than I would. But we are working closely as a legal team to make sure that we are aware and understand the ramifications of such a deal if it's approved by AFN next month. And again, we've been working, I'm in House Counsel, so we work a lot with other departments within Karisakani. We help develop contracts, make sure that they're correct, legally correct, and they can stand the test of law. So we've worked with many of our departments, just checking some contracts, renewing contracts, and things like that. Another big thing coming along, it will be the car raffle. Jason Morgan will probably have more to say on that as well, but we've been helping make sure that we do this in the correct way with BCLC, and in the coming months we hope to have it ready to go for the public so our nations can buy tickets and hopefully win a car that was donated by Westline Ford. Yeah. And as we grow, we are hoping to find more funding from the First Nations Justice Council so that we can start to come into community a lot more as a legal department, so you can get to know me, Kyle, and Naomi. And we can help you with things like wills and estates, which is very important to have done. So we hope to be able to do that soon. We would love to come in and meet everybody. I've been to Takla so far and Stalatin, and the reception was beautiful, and it's just wonderful to meet everybody and in your home territories. And again, we are looking into things like health care and neglect to Indigenous patients so that we can possibly form a human rights complaint because we still know that our people are going to the hospital and not being properly looked after. And that's not acceptable in 2024. So we will be looking into that. We're looking at policing. We know that the RCMP is still racist and hard on our people. So we're looking to speak with individuals about police brutality and look at the potential of possibly starting a tribal police force in the northern region that would be an alternative to the RCMP. We know that there are still too many Indigenous people in incarceration, so we need to bring awareness on that. And Kyle was a big advocate for the Lee Speed Namox case. It was Dale Culver was murdered by the RCMP. And so when that trial was happening in Prince George, Kyle made sure to give support, and a lot of our staff in Prince George were able to attend and support Lily in this very stressful case for them. And just let them know that they do have support of the community and from CSFS. Kyle made note that the police were in the courtroom and they were not in uniform, and they were kind of blocking the courtroom from letting supporters of Lily in. So that's not okay, and we need to make sure we work to bring this to light and change happens in our communities with police. And with that, I will say thank you, and if there's any questions in the room or online, I'd be happy to help, and I'll be here all day today and tomorrow, so if anyone wants to speak to me, I'd be happy to set some time aside to meet with anybody. Besides you.
Any questions or comments online? Check the online folks on who are monitoring the online comments. None? All right. Anybody on the floor? Oh, we have one. Okay. Floor is yours.
How could an individual person seek a lawyer that can help them in getting their family or their grandchildren back?
Good question. So as a team, we are looking to grow. Right now, we're not at capacity to individually help every person within our nations. However, there are also great alternatives in the area. There is family, I'll find the card, I have their exact name, but they assist with family law, family cases with MCFD. And I've met the lawyer, and she's a wonderful lady in Hazelton, so that's a good option. There's legal aid, which is underfunded and under kind of staffed, so they're tough. But we are looking to expand, and we are looking to work with other organizations like the First Nations Justice Council, so that we don't overlap in services that we can provide. So there are other options, but if you want to set aside some time, I'll find that card and pass it along to you.
Okay, thank you.
I think we're good.
We have a question online.
We do have a question online. Somebody is asking for, is there help available to speak with the RCMP specifically for searching for missing people? They do mention the Jack family. That's a long-standing, well-known case.
Right. I believe that we need to have some more advocacy on that for missing children. There's been a red dress alert going through the Parliament in Ottawa, and that could be one avenue where an alert is sent out if there's a missing Indigenous person. Another one that we've spoken to is with the recent issue across Francois. It was having some sort of alert if a child goes missing in a circumstance where it doesn't seem to be an abduction. So we're looking to see if we can advocate for exactly that, creating alert for a missing child like that just happened. If that answers the question, I hope.